Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel Destiny Moon Tarot, and welcome to today's late night pick a card reading. It is 10:45 p.m. currently while I'm filming this reading. I usually don't work this late, but I had plans of filming today, but throughout the day I just got caught up with some impromptu sudden just responsibilities that I had to take care of, which is why I'm a little bit late, but I do enjoy this time of the night. I am a bit of a night owl, so I honestly don't mind working late into the night. In fact, I rather enjoy it. I think my energy is also a lot more peaceful and calm. At night, I am much more creative and also intuitive at night time. So, yeah, in today's reading, we're going to be finding out what your soul has come here to experience. And I think these are the type of questions that I think about late at night. And if that resonates with you, then maybe, this is a reading that you are going to find interesting. So, yeah, I just wanted to do something different today. And just use tarot cards for today's reading. Just like keep it simple, keep it basic, and just give you messages that you would like to hear and that you need to hear at the moment. And yeah, we're just gonna go with the flow. So, the way that you can pick and choose your group or your pile in today's reading is by looking at the images in the thumbnail of this reading. I'm guessing either the topic or one of the pictures or multiple pictures in the thumbnail have drawn you to watching this video. So, yeah, just based on image number 1, 2, or 3, just pick your pile intuitively. You can find the timestamps that correlate to your group's reading in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comments. And yeah, I hope to provide you with some sort of clarity and also entertainment in today's reading. I have a feeling today's reading is going to be a little bit philosophical, a little bit spiritual, but we shall see. I haven't started filming the readings yet. So, yeah, with that being said, I shall see you all in your reading. Let's begin with group number 1. Hi, group 1, welcome to your reading. Let's find out what your soul has come here to experience. I'm going to be live shuffling the Real Talk Tarot today for you guys to find out what your soul has come here to experience. All you have to do is sit back and relax while I get you your cards. Okay, so first up we have the Eight of Wands. We have the Moon. Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Nine of Pentacles. And I want just one more card. We have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. Bottom deck energy is the Nine of Wands. Okay. Okay. Group number 1s. I feel like you are my philosophical overthinkers, introverts who are very ambitious, who have big dreams, but you don't know how you're going to accomplish all of that in one life. Um, the image that I'm picking up is, you know how Barbie, like regular Barbie, just stereotypical Barbie, she has so many careers, right? And it's wild that she's able to do so many things in one lifetime. It's almost like that's who you want to be. You want to be able to do and accomplish a lot of things in your life. You're very ambitious. You definitely want to be independent and self aware and self sufficient. And you want to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like, you don't run away from hard work, but at the same time, when you get rewarded, you really like to enjoy those rewards. Okay, so that could be by indulging in luxury, or by making sure that you and your loved ones live a very comfortable life, right? I feel like that's how you are. But at the same time, because you're such a big dreamer, because you're so ambitious, because you want to do so many things in life, you are kind of held back because you don't know how you will accomplish everything in one lifetime. You don't know how you're going to get everything done, you know, in this little time that we have on this planet, right? But I feel like what your soul has come here to experience is honestly just the whole spectrum of everything that life has to offer. You're here to experience all of the feelings. You're here to experience a lot of adventure, a lot of like, you're meant to live multiple lives in this one life, is what your soul has come here to experience. So you're here to experience good food. You're here to experience going on vacations. You're here to experience loneliness, but you're also here to experience love. You're here to experience the ups and downs of life. And I feel like this will resonate with you if you feel like you have already at a very young age lived so many lives. If you feel like the person that you were, mm, not even like a year ago, but like maybe 3-4 years ago, like you have lived multiple lives in like 3 years or in 4 years or up until now. You're so different from who you were at 10 years old to who you were at 19 to who you were at 21, and then at 25, and then at 28. So I feel like you already have experienced quite a lot, and that's exactly what your soul has come here to experience, just to live multiple lives, to say goodbye, to be this quick moving person who says goodbye and walks away from things that you have put a lot of energy and effort into. Maybe you're meant to do multiple things. You're not, like how some people, they find their purpose, and their purpose is also something that they're very passionate about from a very young age. Until the time that they are like ready to retire, they're passionate about the same thing and they do the same thing for their whole lives. You're not here for that. You're here to experience multiple things. You're here to experience multiple lives, and you're here to evolve and grow and really like deep dive into your feelings. You're here to master your feelings. You're here to um I feel like you might be the kind of people who maybe think that you're a bit moody, or maybe the moon cycles affect your mood a lot, or it's very easy for you to get overwhelmed, but at the same time you also sometimes are completely underwhelmed. Like the most exciting fun things could be happening around you, but you feel like you're not as happy as other people are. You're not enjoying yourself as much as other people are in that moment. So say for example, you're at a party and you look around and you feel like everyone's having a good time, but for some reason you feel like you're not unhappy, but at the same time you're not enjoying as much as other people are. This is not the best night of your life, or this is not, you're not having the time of your life. But there are some moments that are so simple and so like basic and everyday, sort of just mundane stuff, that sometimes you notice and you sit with those and you're like, oh my god, this is a moment that I'm going to remember forever. Like, uh, you might just be sitting in a cafe and reading your book and having like a piece of chocolate cake for the first time, and you'll be like, oh my god, this is a moment I'm going to remember forever. Every time I see this book that I'm currently reading ever in a bookstore, or if I see someone else reading it, it's going to trigger this memory of me sitting here in this cafe and reading this book. So you might be that kind of a person. You're just very, your soul has come here to experience like the deep, like emotions, the deep meaning of life that a lot of other people are unable to. You're here to experience things that bring you results, that bring you comfort and luxury for sure, but you're also here to experience, not living a straight path where you have chosen what you want to do and then for the rest of your life you're going to do that. That's not who you've come here to be. It's like, maybe you are people who find it very difficult to find one specific aesthetic and stick to it, or find one specific niche and stick to it, because it almost feels like you're a jack of all trades. You're interested in multiple things, and these things could be very different from each other. Like, you might like reading, but you also like witchy things, and you also like cooking, and you also like knitting, and you also like gardening, and you also like traveling, and you also like photography. And these are like all of the interests that you have, and you are meant to, and your soul has come here to experience all of this. You doing all of these things, you taking up all of these activities, okay? um, this is a message specifically for a few of you. I feel like some of you come from privilege, and I think money comes easily to you in the sense that maybe there's someone taking care of your finances, whether that's a husband, whether that's a brother, father, mom, even whether this is an inheritance that you get to enjoy. Maybe you don't work. I put that in quotes. A regular job that most people do, so you get your income, but then your working hours are flexible, or you don't work as much as other people do, or you don't work as many hours as other people do, even. So like an influencer, or like someone who has a trust fund or something of that sort. And I feel like maybe there is some sort of guilt within you, because you feel like there are people out here who are struggling to make ends meet, and they don't get to enjoy life, and here you are enjoying this privilege. And like, what have you done to deserve this? But honestly, if you have privilege and you are able to acknowledge it and appreciate it, there's absolutely nothing wrong in enjoying it. You can help other people. You can share your privilege with some other people. You can use your privilege to raise your voice for people who cannot do it but on their own, or to donate resources to people who don't have those resources that you have and that come to you easily. You can do those things. But at the same time, if you have privilege, you are allowed to enjoy it. I think we give ourselves, and society gives us a really hard time for not hustling or for struggling in order to make money and in order to enjoy the materialistic things in life. But for some people, if it comes easily, that's okay. You would have done something, some past karma and some other life has given you this. Or maybe your soul came here to experience all of these things, which is why it chose to live a life of privilege, so you wouldn't have to worry about money, so you can actually enjoy these things without worrying about how you're going to pay the rent, or how you're going to put food on the table, right? So if you have privilege, or if things come easily to you, then that is also something that your soul has chosen to experience in this life. Ease when it comes to either money or resources, or liberty and freedom. So, yeah, instead of beating yourself up about it, I think it's time that you acknowledge it, and at the same time, you can also enjoy it, because that's what your soul has come here to do, just to enjoy experiencing a lot of different things that bring you a lot of peace and joy. You're meant to sort of be a different person. You're allowed to evolve, you're allowed to change. Because that is what your soul has come here to experience. Okay, so yeah, that is a message that I um, have for you guys, you know. So like if you have been looking at all of these other people being super busy and then wondering why that's not your life, that's because your soul chose it. Okay, or if you have been wondering why you are interested in so many things and why you can't just pick one thing and stick to it, that's because your soul has chosen to experience all of these things, you know. I can give you my own example. Like something that I was really, really into was just making makeup and like fashion related content. And then that sort of burnt me out, or I got kind of bored of like making that type of content, which is why I wanted to like switch. So then I switched to doing book reviews, and now I have switched to tarot. But like these are all things that I'm still interested in. At a personal level, I still enjoy doing tarot readings, and also enjoy reading, and also enjoy, you know, dressing up and putting on makeup and stuff, right? So yeah, we can enjoy everything that life has to offer, especially if, you know, we have the time and the resources and the energy to enjoy these things, because this is something that our soul has chosen to experience. Okay, so yeah, that is the reading that I have for you guys, group number one. I hope this gave you the clarity or some sort of message that you maybe wanted to hear right now or needed to hear right now. And yeah, subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this reading and would like to see more readings such as these. It's free of cost and it helps me grow as a creator here on YouTube. Claim this reading in the comments below as well, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out what your soul has come here to experience. I'm going to be live shuffling the tarot deck. This is the Real Talk Tarot. This is the only deck that I'm going to be using in today's reading. So, all you have to do is sit back and relax while I get your cards and find out what your soul has come here to experience. Now, first up here, we have Strength, followed with the Ten of Wands. Okay. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, we have the Eight of Swords that flew out. And we also have the Nine of Wands, which was also a card that came out for the previous group, but this also came out for you. So I am going to take it. Your bottom deck energy is the Six of Cups. How beautiful. Okay. So I think what your soul honestly like craves for is just balance. It's nostalgia. It's calmness. It's slow mornings, a quiet life, a slow life, a very relaxed life. That is what your soul honestly craves for. But it almost feels like, with the cards that you have been dealt, it feels like you have been experiencing the complete opposite of that. Maybe up until now, what you have experienced is just like a lot of hardship that's like one after the other. It's like when one thing gets solved, it's another thing, and then it's another thing, and it's another thing. And you have had to be strong and patient all this while for you to be able to like deal with this thing. It almost feels like, you know, um it almost feels like you have been putting in the work but you haven't been seeing the result. It almost feels like you're just one step away from success. You know, it's like you've put in the work and at 99% it feels like you're stuck, or you know, you've been experiencing some sort of low self-esteem, um, you know, self-doubt, failure. This is something that you have been experiencing up until now. But what your soul truly wants to experience and has come here to experience is the complete opposite of it, with the Six of Cups, which was your bottom deck energy, which I do want to add into your reading as well, because I feel like the way that you're, like, just the fact that this card is here, right? And right below it, we have the Four of Wands, which is the ultimate card of like stability, safety, security. The Four of Wands always reminds me of 1111, because like usually there are four wands on the card. Here, however, it looks like it's a couple having a romantic candlelight dinner, and it feels like they're very safe and secure, not just in their surroundings, but also in each other's company, but also within themselves. Like they look very safe and secure with just their body language, very confident with who they are and their body language, right? So I feel like that's what your soul is here to experience. And the fact that we have the Six of Cups as your bottom deck energy, I do feel like your soul will experience that, but it's going to experience it after all of this hardship, because only when you experience hardship and only when you experience failure and low self esteem will you truly acknowledge and truly value the safety and security that's going to come from overcoming these moments of like being low, or like feeling low, or like overcoming obstacles and challenges. It's almost like if life were to give you what you want on a silver platter, you wouldn't value it as much as you would if you work hard for it, right? And it honestly feels like the universe sees that you have been working hard. Your soul definitely like knew that this was the path that it's going to choose in order to ultimately feel relaxed and feel safe and feel happy, which is why it came along with patience and strength, which is why you have patience and which is why you have strength, because I feel like maybe some things that you have experienced, if you talk about it to other people might say, oh my god, you're so strong, I don't know how I would have dealt with that situation if I were to experience it, or if I don't know if I could have ever, been as strong as you, or been as patient as you, or I don't know if I could have handled that, or been able to manage these situations the way that you have. And just because you are strong, and just because you have been able to manage it, and just because you have held it together for so long, doesn't mean that you deserve this for the rest of your life. And it also doesn't mean that it was easy. For sure it wasn't easy at all, but I feel like your soul came here to experience all of these things, all of these challenges and these hardships, so that you finally could feel peace and feel relaxed, and that you would really enjoy it when that moment comes to you. Because a lot of times when we, and you would have noticed this yourself, considering that you have been going through it, I feel like you are also my group that has done a lot of inner work. And I feel like you will also notice it, that when you do a lot of inner work and you find inner peace, you cut out people and toxic cycles, life kind of becomes boring and monotonous. And I think if you would have experienced that peace without these hardships, you would have thought your life is very boring and that it's very monotonous, and that, oh my god, nothing exciting ever happens to you. But trust me, when you do feel this peace, or if you already are experiencing this peace like your soul wanted you to experience, you will appreciate it more, because you have seen what chaos feels like, you have seen what hardship feels like. And in those moments you wish not for nothing more than peace and quiet, right? So now that you have it, you will never take that for granted, because you will never say, oh my god, I miss drama, oh my god, should I like text my ex just to like get out of this boredom because life is feeling a little bit boring at the moment. You will never have those moments. You will truly be able to cut off toxic cycles. You will truly be able to end toxic cycles and patterns and karmic debts and karmic cycles because you have, worked your way out of it. This peace, this stability, this security, this sort of relaxation, this sort of like slow calm life is well deserved because it's well earned. You have literally earned your way to this, and now this peace to you is so precious that it's not worth giving up for anything, not for entertainment, not for the plot, not for anything. So yeah, your soul, if you've been wondering why you had to experience all of this hardship, it's because your soul came here to experience peace without you ever feeling bored or tired of this peace, you know and yeah, so if you are currently experiencing hardship or just like struggle, know that better days are coming, to a point where you won't feel nostalgic for the olden days, the good old days. I feel like you are going to be the kind of person who, as you grow older, you're going to think life is only getting better, because maybe school was not a fun time for you, maybe working was not a good, like a fun time for you, maybe, not having control over your life and your oh god, sorry, it almost like I got choked up. I don't even know how. um yeah, so like, it just feels like, hold on, I should just drink some water. um okay, yeah. um so yeah, I just feel like, life, like, if as an adult I ask you to, like, think of a happy memory, maybe you're the kind of person who thinks like, oh my god, like, I don't really have a lot of happy memories from my childhood or from my life up until now. Like, yeah, there were moments where I was having fun, and there are moments that I would like to remember, but those moments are far few than moments that I would like to forget about. So, I don't think you're a very nostalgic person. I don't think you miss school days, or I don't think you miss not having control over your life or your schedule or your feelings, being dismissed by adults. I don't think you ever feel nostalgic for that time. And I think, like, if anyone asked you, which moment in the past in your own life would you like to go to, you'd probably say, no, actually, a machine would have been wasted on me, because I don't think I would want to go back. Like, no amount of money is going to make me want to go back and relive those moments, because life at the moment is better than it used to be. So, this is either how you're feeling right now or how you will be feeling sometime in the future. So I feel like that is what your soul has come here to experience, the peace that you feel in the here and the now, or the peace that you are going to eventually feel. This sort of sense of accomplishment, that, thank god, this feeling of gratitude that you no longer live the life that you wanted to grow out of, or grow, grow apart from, grow distant from, and you're finally able to do that. Just the fact that your life is now no longer the way that it used to be is something that fills you with a lot of gratitude, and that is what your soul came here to experience, just peace and quiet. 12:21 mirroring images when I saw your timestamp. So yeah, that could be a significant angel number for you, but I also feel like, yes, I think, like, you just looking back in time, you just want to give your younger self a hug and you just want to tell them like, hey, things get better, don't worry, um and yeah, I feel like that is what your soul has come here to experience: hardships in your younger years, so that as you grow older, you're able to enjoy your life and feel at peace and feel joyful. Because for a lot of people, it's the other way around, and it's quite sad because our childhood is a very small part of our life. So imagine living your best life as a child, and then for the rest of your life, you're struggling, or you're wishing for a childhood or a youth that is never going to come. So, I mean, I would say that this is actually quite lucky, the fact that moving forward for the rest of your life, which is much longer than the time that has gone, is going to be so much better and happier and safer for you than the past that you have experienced. So, yeah, that's what your soul has come here to experience. Just peace as you grow older, calmness when you grow older, a sense of safety and security and peace within as you get older, contentment as you get older. So yeah, that is the reading that I have for you guys, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Claim this reading in the comments below, claim this piece in the comments below if you would like to. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys. Hi, Group 3, welcome to your reading. Let's find out what your soul has come here to experience. I'm going to be live shuffling the tarot deck. This is the Real Talk Tarot. This is the only deck that I'm going to be using in today's reading. So, yeah, all you have to do is sit back and relax as I get your cards to find out what your soul has come here to experience. Okay, so we have the Chariot, we have the Ten of Swords, okay, we have the Two of Cups, we have the Five of Cups, okay, we also have the Fool. Ooh, okay. Bottom deck energy is the Three of Swords. Ooh, okay. Disappointment, heartbreak, that is something that you have been experiencing, and you are wondering why that is something that you are constantly experiencing in your life, or why that is happening to you. Why are you stuck in these dead end relationships? Why does this feel like, every time you start a project or get into a relationship, or fall in love with someone, why does it always leave you at rock bottom? Why do you not see results for it? Maybe that's how you have been like maybe that's how you've been feeling at the moment. You're just going through some sort of heartbreak and disappointment, and you don't know why that is happening. But that is because your soul has come here to experience a journey when it comes to getting up from rock bottom and going up. You know what they say about rock bottom, right? The best thing about rock bottom is that the only way is up. The only way out of that situation is going up. And that's what you have come here to experience. You've come here to upgrade how you feel emotionally. You've come here to upgrade from walking on this path to cycling on this path to driving on this path to flying on this path. You're here to upgrade from this sort of rock bottom. For a lot of you, I feel like this is to do with like romantic connections, but maybe for some of you this is also like something to do with your career, or like a project that you feel like every time you start it ends very badly. So maybe you're someone who's had like multiple like failed, and I say that in quotes, because even if you fail at something, it's not like you've lost or you've completely wasted your time, because there is no such thing as wasted time. You have gained experience. So yeah, who is the real winner here? You. Because you have gained experience in exchange of your time, and that's okay. We all experience something in exchange of our time, right? Some of us either get our rewards or we get experience, and experience only helps us further down in life, right? So whether this is a romantic connection or whether this is a project, like a business project, or some sort of like a career path, regardless, I feel like what you are here to experience is a lot of new beginnings, a lot of new journeys, a lot of leap of faiths, a lot of trusting and hoping in not just your own ability but also in a higher power, that maybe once or twice you're going to fail, or maybe it's not going to work out, but eventually it will, eventually it will. um, and yes, you have lost in the past, but you still have life to look forward to, right? It's not the end of life. You still have energy, you still have time, you still have new opportunities that will present themselves, and all you have to do is take a leap of faith. So you are allowed to grieve the things that didn't work out for you, that you really wanted to because you've put in the effort, or because you really wanted them. You're allowed to do that, but at the same time you should also, you can't let that grief keep you stuck. Okay, you have to eventually move on from it, and see how else you can make your life better, or what other opportunities are waiting for you, or what other leap of faiths you can take, right? And that's the whole thing, maybe like what your soul is here to experience, honestly. And the thing that's going to keep you going and upgrading from rock bottom to achieving the heights that you want to, is just hope and faith. Not losing hope, not losing faith, not criticizing your kismat, not criticizing your planetary placements is something that I'm hearing. Not criticizing your ability, because yeah, maybe you have made mistakes in the past, you have chosen wrongly in the past, but in that moment you were doing the best that you could, you were doing the best to your ability. And now that you have learned your experience and you have learned your lesson, that's just going to help you make better decisions, and those better decisions are eventually going to give you the result that you want to, right? It is going to be like a fated, like serendipitous moment when you finally reach the top. So honestly, what your soul has come here to experience is connection, is belonging, is purpose, is community, is love, is success, is completion. But on the way to that, you have to take some leaps of faith. You have to make sure that you're not stuck in the grief. You have to make sure that you're not stuck in rock bottom. Just because you have been hurt in the past doesn't mean that that should stop you from you know having hope for the future, or looking forward to the future, or even trying in the future, right? And yeah, you cannot stop on your journey, you cannot give up on your journey, like, think of this as you going on a road trip. If you take a wrong turn, do you just like cancel the whole trip and turn around and go back home? No, you don't. You just reroute. And it's okay if it has taken you longer than someone else to get there, or it's taken you longer than what you had anticipated to get there. The whole point is that you have gotten there, isn't there this quote that life is not a race, it's a marathon? It doesn't matter how fast or in which position you complete or finish, it just matters that you do reach the finish line, right? So yeah, that is honestly the message that's coming here for you. So let me give you an example, and like just say that specifically if this is about love, just because you've been burnt in the past doesn't mean that this is what is going to happen in the future, because now you have learned your lesson. Now you have learned your lesson, you have worked on yourself, you have grieved this for sure. For sure, you're allowed to grieve this, but at the same time, that's not going to stop you from falling in love again, from trusting again, from even making mistakes again, because it's okay if we make mistakes. We're here to have a very human experience, and to human is to err, is also a saying, right? I don't know if they say that anymore, but like back when I was young, this was something that was said to us a lot in school. That to be human is to err, and that it's okay to make mistakes. So yeah, it just matters that we learn from those mistakes, and that we try to do better, that we don't give up hope, not in ourselves, not in other people, not in the universe, right? So honestly, like some sort of advice that's coming through here is like not focusing too much on your past. Like just because it happened in your past doesn't mean it's going to happen in your future. Just because something has been happening with other people doesn't mean it's going to happen with you. So say for example, you grew up in a place where you didn't see a happy healthy marriage, or you didn't see a happy healthy relationship, either around you or in your own home, and now as an adult, you are seeing a lot of cases of infidelity. You're seeing a lot of sadness and abuse and toxicity when it comes to relationships in your life, or even in the media that you're consuming. Maybe that is something that you have been noticing, and you're kind of getting sick of it, but it's also making you wonder if that is just how life is. But honestly, no, there are happy marriages, there are happy couples, there are healthy, functional, non toxic, non abusive couples out there, and it is possible for you to also experience that. And the fact that you have the Two of Cups here just shows me that your soul is here to experience that kind of love. If you are a returning viewer to my channel, you would have known that I think that the Two of Cups is a much more romantic card than the Lovers card in the tarot, because the Lovers card sometimes, represents karmic cycles, like karmic lovers who we're not meant to be with for the rest of our lives. They come into our life as this like burning, passionate romance that teaches us things, or shatters us, or breaks us, or just like, you know, isn't meant to be in our life for a very long time. But the Two of Cups is this soulmate energy, is this energy of like yin and yang coming together and functioning beautifully, coexisting beautifully forever, honestly. So yeah, just because you're seeing um you know sad couples, unhappy couples around you, doesn't mean that you are also destined for the same sort of outcome. Yeah. So your soul is here to experience happiness and like healthy, long lasting relationships. But I think your soul is also here to prove to maybe the universe, or maybe even to yourself, maybe just as like a self gratifying project, that despite the sadness that you see around you, despite the gloomy, despite the despair that you see around you, you still have hope and faith, and you still have um, you know yeah, just hope and faith and optimism that things will turn out well for you. Okay, so you're able to discern and say, hey, you know what, just because something is happening to my parents, or just because something is happening in my best friends relationship, doesn't mean that's also going to happen to me, because we're different people at the end of the day. We have different karmas at the end of the day. We have come here to experience different things as souls at the end of the day, and maybe their soul came here to experience heartbreak, um, because they were, because their soul wanted to experience that. But maybe your soul, and not maybe, because you have the Two of Cups here, your soul is here to experience healthy love. So just because something is going wrong in someone else's love life doesn't mean that's going to happen to you. Okay, you are not your parents, you are not your friends. Yes, you have a lot in common with these people, but that doesn't mean that you live the same life, doesn't mean that you are the same person, doesn't mean that you will end up in the same situations as they have. Okay, so yeah, that is what your soul has come here to experience: happiness, love, um, like a soulmate connection, and just not giving up hope and not giving up faith that this is something that is possible for you despite what you have seen or experienced in your past. So, yeah, that is the reading that I have for you guys, group number 3. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Claim this happy relationship, this Two of Cups energy in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.